Hi guys, PJ here. Today I'm taking a look at the PC release of A Plague Tale Requiem. Brand new release to the system, and yep, this is the Game Pass version, so in other words you can play this for free if you're a Game Pass subscriber. Thought we'd take a look at the settings and options and how well it runs on this sort of system. So let me preface that by telling you this is a Ryzen 2700, that's a 8-core 16-thread CPU, and it's a GTX1660 Ti, so that's a 6GB graphics card, and we're running 6GB of RAM. The game's installed on an NVMe SSD hard drive, and Windows is installed on a separate hard drive, separate NVMe drive. I'm recording to a Samsung SSD, so everything is separated. We shouldn't cause any lag or any problems with it, and when I show you the game I'm going to have a readout in the left hand corner showing you all the statistics. But first things first, without further ado, let's go into settings, have a look how customizable this really is. So general, we've got your basic settings here for difficulty, help, how often, etc, etc. Tutorials, quite a lot to it, you know, there's quite a lot here. As you can see, you can sort of tailor it to your own way. The game is very, very good looking. I mean, I played the original one, and I've just played some of this. I actually played some of this on a Series X Xbox console, and it did look stunning. It's cross-save, guys, so if you've got a console and a PC you can switch between the two seamlessly. I played the first chapter on the console and switched over to this, and it was there straight away, so yeah, that works perfectly. Okay, so we've got some gameplay options there that you can do. Like I say, you might want to pause the video if you want to look at some of these in detail. But there we go. So it's done a lot of, let's have a look, that's disabled. It's gone for the full resolution, medium draw distance, medium graphics preset. Okay, so I don't know if this is VRAM hungry. I guess we'll have a look very shortly. Everything is medium by the look of it, which is not surprising. The 1660 Ti is now a pretty old card. You know, it's not bad with its 6GB of VRAM, but it is pretty old. It's not that powerful, so that's not bad, in my opinion. Not bad at all. I'm wondering if you could probably drop a couple of these down. If you're struggling with it, you could probably dump your shadows down to a lower setting. They're normally the heaviest thing in these type of games. Screen space reflections, pop that down one. Maybe move the textures up one. Probably get a better look. Won't know until we've tried it. But hey, that's all of those. So let's go to audio. We've got hi-fi. It does say here home theatre, so it's for like sound bars and stuff. So it is stereo. Home theatre recommended for surround sound, supports Dolby 7.1 and Atmos. Now that is quite rare in a game. That's impressive, guys. We've also got TV, headphones, home theatre. So that's good. We've got surround sound support. 3D audio as well. Very good. Okay. Mono, yes, no, master volume, dialogue volume, music volume, sound effects, ambient, etc. Anything else? Got controls, those are your controls. Full controller support, of course. I have been using an Xbox controller on this. Right, let's get into game and have a look at how taxing it is with these default settings. So on the title screen we can see that it's actually using 98% of the GPU, and that's just with the little rats and everything running around that we've got going on there. CPU, not really taxed, not at all. RAM, it's using nearly 8GB. FPS, pretty low, 33, and that's the title screen. So let's get into game and have a look. Isn't that a great looking game, guys? I mean, that is absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. Really nice looking. Even on medium settings, this is medium settings, and look at it. The shadows are nice, the actual detail is nice on the rocks, it doesn't look blurry, and this is medium. Okay, we're averaging what, 35 to 40. RAM, we're using over 9GB of normal RAM. We're using what, 3GB of graphics RAM. But the GPU is at 98% usage, so it's pretty much GPU limited in this scenario. CPU's on tick over, it's not really doing anything. So very GPU heavy game, and the 1660 is clearly showing some fun and games there, tackling everything. Okay, let's quickly try some of the settings I would try to sort of help it a bit more. So if we go into settings, graphics, and this is a bit where we hope it doesn't need a full restart just to change a few things. So if we go down here and go, let's have a look. If we drop volumetric lighting and drop the shadow maps, screen space to low, texture quality to high. No. Okay, well if we're going to do that, let's aim a bit higher, yeah? So we'll put the shadow maps back to medium, I think, if it will let me. Okay. Right, let's reload and see how that affects things. Well, we gained a little bit of FPS by doing that. RAM usage is up though. We're over 10.5 gigabytes of RAM now. We're on 3.5 gigabytes of VRAM. It would appear that if you're running this sort of spec system, you're sort of probably advised to lock this to a nice 30, push the graphics up as high as you can, put your VSync on and just enjoy the game. This is not a game where we're going to get 60 FPS without really sacrificing the visuals, which in my opinion would be a shame. I mean, it is a really gorgeous game. The chapter before this in the woods and everything, you know, that looked really nice. It'd be a shame to knock it down that much to try and get 60. Even if you could get 60, I'm not convinced, to be honest, that you could. I mean, it seems pretty fluid at this. It doesn't seem stuttery. Some games do suffer from like a stutter. This is not one of them. This is playing very nicely. I'm on controller at the moment, so yeah, it's really nice. But it is a bit taxing. If you've got a 4 gigabyte graphics card, you are going to do it. I mean, it's 3.8 gigabytes at the moment, but look at that. With that petals flowing around, we're down to 30 FPS, 29 FPS. The scene is beautiful, but it's hard on the hardware. 3.8 gigabytes VRAM. Maxed out the GPU. If you're running a GTX1650 4 gigabytes, and by that I mean the newer one, the DDR6 version, GDDR6, not the older one, you're gonna have to tail back your shadows and everything to keep the FPS up. It can do it memory wise, but it's going to struggle setting some of the effects up quite high. And there's Xbox telling me again that I've earned some points. I wish it did not do that, but it does. Everything seems to run pretty well. You're going to get your 30 FPS out of this sort of card. Tweak the settings. Last of all is my preferred settings for how I think I will actually end up playing the game. Okay, so VSync on to stop any screen tear. Resolution scale down to 85%. Like I say, we are running 4040p, so this brings it down quite a lot. Takes the the overhead from the GPU off, so we were at 99% GPU usage, and this is having a pretty big effect, so that's a good thing. We've then gone for, where are we, show we presets that I've done everything back to medium basically, apart from texture quality on high. So we've got highs or mediums, chromatic abbreviation on normal. I'm not too keen on that. I might actually turn that off. It's a sort of bluey yellowy tinge to the edge of everything. It's sort of quite annoying. But let's have a look. Let's have a look at the actual game in progress. There we go. So you got your 85% res, GPU sitting at 87%, FPS is above 30. Looks nice. Can't really see any degradation as such to the image. Slight softness if I'm being really picky on his clothing, but I mean you'd have to study it, you'd have to look, So what we're going to do is just run up to where this blossom is that we've just had a look at and see how it hits it. I mean, we have got VSync on, so it should remain smooth and playable. Let's go and see. Lovely and smooth to play, no problems at all, no screen tearing. Okay, let's see what happens when we get to the dread blossom, because that really did impact it. 94% GPU usage at the minute.
Maybe he knows where they are.
And climbing.
Yes. Maybe they're through here.
Okay, what's it going to do? Is it going to buckle under 30, or are we going to keep it higher?
What?
Okay, that's managed to keep it above 30 FPS, 98%. Still GPU limited, but a much smoother experience. They're definitely going to be the settings I'm going to run with on this particular game. Okay. Hopefully this gives you a rough idea of how the game's going to run if you've got this sort of spec system. If not, hopefully you've gained something out looking at all the settings and options. I'll call it a close at that, guys. Keep it nice and short. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.